Airplanes look ordinary, right? But every bolt, every window, even those tiny holes you've ignored have a hidden purpose. Some so shocking they could mean the difference between life and death. Buckle up, because we're counting down 13 airplane features you've always seen but never truly understood. 13. Lavatory locks. You can open from outside. Ever thought an airplane bathroom was fully private? Not really. Behind that occupied sign, there's a hidden latch outside that lets crew unlock the door in emergencies. Imagine someone fainting inside mid-flight. This feature lets staff step in within seconds. It's rarely used, but it's there for one reason only: passenger safety. And it's not just medical cases. Security protocols in 2025 allow crew to intervene quickly if they suspect tampering, smoke, or even someone trying to block themselves inside. The next time you enter a lavatory, look closely near the sign. You'll see that tiny flip panel. Not a flaw, a safeguard. And if that secret surprised you, wait till you hear about the next feature hiding in plain sight right next to your seat. 12. The tiny breather hole in windows. That small hole at the bottom of airplane windows. It's not damage. It's called a bleed hole. This feature balances pressure between panes, so the outer layer bears the stress at cruising altitude. In fact, the outer pane handles the equivalent of 8 pounds of pressure per square inch at 35,000 feet. But here's the part most people don't realize. Without that little hole, your window could fog up so badly you wouldn't see outside, which is a problem during safety checks. Engineers built in this hole to keep views clear while also extending the life of the panes. Invisible safety, staring you in the face. Speaking of windows, have you ever been told to open your shade during takeoff and landing? It's not just airline manners. 11. Why shades must be open at critical times. Takeoff and landing are when 80% of aviation accidents happen. Open shades allow everyone to act as extra sets of eyes. If there's smoke, sparks, or debris, passengers may spot it before the crew does. But that's not the only reason. In 2025, safety protocols now demand open shades so that in case of an emergency evacuation, your eyes are already adjusted to outside light. A sudden flash of sunlight after being in the dark could blind you for seconds. Seconds that could decide survival. That's how much thought goes into these tiny rules you probably roll your eyes at. But windows aren't the only barriers designed with genius. Doors carry their own hidden magic. 10. Plug doors that lock themselves. Ever seen how massive airplane doors are? Yet in flight, they can't be opened. Not because of locks, but because of physics. Plug doors are slightly larger than their frames and open inward first. Once the cabin pressurizes, air pressure slams the door into its frame with tons of force, sealing it shut. That means no matter how strong you are, or how many conspiracy TikToks you've seen, no one can open a plane door mid-air. This design is so foolproof that even newer aircraft models in 2025 rely on it, keeping security airtight without complicated locks. From the doors that keep you in to the exits that can get you out fast. 9. Overwing exits and your hidden responsibility. Those seats by the wing aren't just about legroom. If you sit there, you're part of the evacuation plan. Crew actually depend on passengers in overwing rows to operate those simpler exit latches. Regulations require evacuations to finish in 90 seconds, and without passenger help, that's impossible. That's why children and people unable to assist aren't seated there. In fact, in 2025, airlines even brief exit row passengers with specific questions. Are you willing and able to help? Because in emergencies, hesitation could cost lives. Sitting there is more responsibility than privilege. And when those exits open, another hidden system leaps into action, one you've probably slid down in safety videos. 8. Evacuation. Slides with power. Assist. Those yellow slides aren't just inflatable toys. Modern aircraft carry dual-lane slides, allowing 2 streams of passengers to escape at once. But here's what's new. Power assist systems now help doors fling open even against high pressure or wind resistance. Once armed, the slide inflates in under 6 seconds with high-pressure gas canisters, strong enough to support more than 90 passengers a minute. Airlines test these slides every few months, ensuring they'll function instantly when needed. You may never use one, but knowing it's there makes turbulence a little easier to handle. And just above your head, another feature hides in plain sight, guiding crew and steadying passengers. 7. Secret handrails. Under overhead bins. Notice the ridged edge beneath overhead compartments? Those aren't design accents. They're hidden handrails built for flight attendants to grip while walking during turbulence. Think about it. You can't rely on seat backs when people's heads are in the way. Even passengers can use them discreetly if needed. Engineers call them disruption mitigation aids, and in 2025 they're now reinforced to handle stronger turbulence patterns linked to shifting climate conditions. Subtle, practical, and life-saving. Just like those handrails, small markings in the cabin also carry secrets. 6. Triangle markers. Above certain windows. Ever spotted tiny black triangles above a few windows? They're not random stickers. They mark the best vantage points for inspecting the wings. If crew need to confirm whether ice has built up, flaps are working, or engines look clear, they know exactly where to look. It's low-tech but genius. A 50-cent sticker guiding million-dollar safety checks mid-flight. Even today, pilots sometimes ask cabin crew to check those spots before takeoff if sensors raise concerns. And while those markers help with safety checks, lighting inside the cabin is also carefully controlled for one very real reason. 5. Why cabin lights? Dim before takeoff and landing. Ever wonder why the cabin goes dark just as the plane descends? It's not for mood. It's to prep your vision. In an emergency, you might have seconds to evacuate. If your eyes are adjusted to low light, you'll spot illuminated exit signs and pathways immediately. This practice became mandatory after evacuation. Studies showed people wasted precious seconds blinded by sudden darkness. Now it's standard worldwide. A small change, saving countless potential lives. But the rules about who sits where, they're just as strategic. 4. Overwing seat restrictions. Ever tried booking an exit row and been told you can't? That's because airlines follow strict restrictions. Children, elderly passengers requiring assistance, or anyone who doesn't speak the crew's language often aren't allowed in these rows. These restrictions aren't about discrimination. They're about ensuring that whoever sits there can physically and mentally operate that heavy hatch under stress. It's not just a seat, it's part of the aircraft's safety mechanism. Speaking of safety, let's circle back to the windows themselves, because their design is more layered than you ever realized. 3. Multi-pane windows and backup. Safety airplane windows aren't just glass. They're triple-layer acrylic systems. The outer pane withstands cabin pressurization, the middle pane contains the bleed hole, and the inner pane is for protection against scratches or curious fingers. Here's the genius. Even if the outer pane cracks, which is extremely rare, the middle pane takes over temporarily until the plane descends. That redundancy ensures you're never just a few millimeters away from raw atmosphere. Engineering brilliance you probably lean against while napping. And while most features are about structure, some tiny ones exist purely to keep escape routes clear. 2. Exit row. Tray, table, latches. In most seats, tray tables fold down normally. But in exit rows, the latches often only open in one direction. Why? To prevent trays from accidentally falling and blocking the exit during an emergency. Think about it. People panic, bags scatter, trays pop loose. This design minimizes one more obstacle. Subtle, but effective. Finally, we've reached the most overlooked yet crucial airplane feature, the one rule that's enforced every single flight. 1. Why shades really matter. Most. We started with windows and we'll end there. The open shade rule is the most visible, yet most misunderstood feature. It's not about courtesy, it's about survival. From letting rescuers outside assess the cabin to helping passengers adjust their eyes, to spotting dangers faster, it's the single simplest rule that could save the most lives. Every flight, every passenger participates without realizing it. That's why this everyday detail tops our list. And that's it. 13 airplane features hiding in plain sight that carry life or death importance. Next time you fly, you'll see them everywhere, and maybe even feel safer knowing how much thought goes into every detail. If you learned something new, drop your thoughts in the comments, Share this with your travel buddy, and of course, hit like and subscribe for more everyday mysteries explained.